morning I heard that in Ontario there's some dairy farmers that had to dump a bunch of milk, like thousands of liters, just because they exceeded their quota. So that's the government rules. Do you know how heartbreaking that would be to anyone who is frugal or has ever lived through something like the dirty 30s or something? Do you know how heartbreaking these kind of communist tactics are? This is how they do it, is the communists starve people even though it's not necessary. It doesn't matter. They'll tell you that, oh, what about the starving people in China? That's always, or wherever. The starving people somewhere. But they don't care. They actually just want to wear you out. Just like in the Bible, the book of Daniel, it said, he shall wear out the saints of the Most High. I heard that also that Schwab say that they want a stakeholders economy. The only stake that we should be holding is a vampire killer stake. So think about what that means, a stakeholders economy, and how evil that is, and how much of a Ponzi pyramid that is, because a pyramid is a stakeholders economy. It's like you buy into it with your little plot of $5,000, and then you sit there in that shape of a pyramid until you slowly rise as people form into the bottom, and they join and they can't get out. And then at the very end, you hold on and you suck it up and you bend the knee, and then you finally get your little payout of $40,000. And then you can go back in at the bottom of the pyramid, and then you put in another $5,000, and then you get, you slowly make your way up. You call that's called racketeering, actually. Stakeholders is racketeering, because it is not supply and demand, and they even thought ahead and got around that idea of supply and demand by telling us what we're demanding. They're demanding on our behalf while we're sitting here ultra-fluorided in the brain. They're telling us what we demand. And by so doing, they tell us who we are. At least Benny Hill. That show has got a lot of good hairstyles in it. I didn't know Benny Hill was actually a hero for preserving and conserving these forms of human beings. And a lot of these strange celebrities were actually angels in disguise and heroes. They just had, unfortunately, suffered from a real lack of some sort of social skill, and that's fine. But, they'll never understand. I guess it's sort of an alien thing where you just don't understand the human thing. But you do understand what beauty is, and you hope people hold it together. You hope that people keep diseases out of their lives and keep. Also, another important thing is for people like the mothers to show a puritanical example of life, not putting up with abuse, and not bringing home a bunch of men just to fuck them in front of the kids, because in the 1800s, the reason why America was the thing, the envy of the world, was because of the American woman that's into Tocqueville. And there's something about it, you're going to have to explore it yourself. It was the American woman, and she was definitely a thing of envy around the world, because she was all those virtuous things. Not what you see today. But another thing is freedom of speech. I'd like to say, I was watching an old movie with Sharon Gless in it. It's freedom of the press, actually, is the actual meme, is freedom of the press. Freedom of the speech is a given. We shouldn't even have to say that. But freedom of the press is where we should be having. Unfortunately, the press, these journalists, today's so-called journalists, all they want to do is listen to themselves on headphones. So if they interview you, all they really want to hear is themselves bark back or interrupt. The real journalists are all dead.